Republicans are hoping to hold the speaker vote early next week. Our next guest says that whoever the next speaker is will most likely have to shut down the government to prove that they will be tough in that role. Joining us right now is former White House Chief of Staff to President Obama, Bill Daley, who's also vice chairman at Wells Fargo. And Bill, I have about 50 different directions I want to take you, not just politics, what's happening with yields, what that means for the banks, the CFPB, lots of things that are happening. But why don't we start with where we set this up, which is what's happening in the House right now? What do you
Look, it kind of reminds me, remember the movie Talladega Nights when Ricky Bobby's kids were running around screaming anarchy, anarchy, and squirting water into people's windows? That seems to be what's going on. But the vote's going to be next week. If I had to bet between the two candidates, Steve Scalise and Jordan will win it. But as I said, they've got to commit. Jordan did vote against the CR deal that seemed to be at the heart of McCarthy's collapse with the hardcore group. So I'd bet on him. But yet he then has to, right before Thanksgiving, do what McCarthy wouldn't do, and that is basically shut down the government or cause the government to shut down because of the deal they're going to want with Biden in the Senate. That's going to be very hard. And it comes at a time, as you know better than I, where the economy is lots of different messages going on about how strong it is or getting stronger or getting weaker, the rates. And a shutdown that could last quite a while would be rather disruptive to the markets, in my opinion.
Why don't we talk about interest rates in the economy, just from your perspective as vice chairman at Wells Fargo? What's going on?
Well, everybody's got an opinion, and nobody really knows. My guess is that the rates will, as the Fed has said, and they've been very clear, rates will continue to go up. We can all argue, and everybody does, about how much more, but I think there's no question there will be additional rate increases. The economy is overall strong. We have a great economy, but we have to get used to a very different world that we've been in for the last 15 or so years after the collapse in 2008. And that is, we have to get used to not zero rates. So that is taking us a while. We have higher rates than most people have seen over the last 15 years, obviously, but historically, they're not that high compared to what many of us have lived through.
They're not, but we are dealing with budget deficits that do start to matter when you get into this territory. And if you are talking about a recession that then follows that, then you are talking about GDP coming down, and then you're talking about much higher debt to GDP ratios that we'll be dealing with. And the question is, that doesn't matter until it suddenly does.
Until it matters, right. No, there's no doubt. The deficit, there has to be action taken on the deficit. There's no doubt. Rates will go up for a short while. I don't think they're long term. And at that point, hopefully, if things settle down politically, which is hard to believe over the next 16 months, we'll get some reason in this thing.
But that's what I was going to ask you about, which is, so we just had Sri Kumar on, and he thinks something's going to break, or thinks there's a potential for something to break. It's not that we can't live with higher interest rates. It's that the transition period creates the break, meaning something falters along the way. The first thing that may very well falter, by the way, is that the government may close down in the middle of November. That could lead, Moody's or S&P or whomever to downgrade our debt more. That creates its own sort of self-fulfilling problem. And then I was going to layer in the presidential election, what you think that means politically for the parties as this plays out. Because I think, by the way, for the Democrats, there was a view, if the economy could just hold, the current president would still have a shot. If things get meaningfully worse from here, and this is the beginning of that, it gets a lot more complicated a lot quicker.
As President Clinton's campaign showed, it is the economy, stupid. It always is the economy. So if the White House has to be unbelievably concerned about next year. But I do think in the short term...
But the challenge is there's nothing for the White House to do.
No, they're just a sidebar to this fight that's going on in the Congress. But I do hope that the leadership of the House, when it's settled, will realize that a shutdown that may last a long time could be extremely damaging to the economy right now.
But isn't a shutdown, this is the political part, isn't a shutdown ultimately actually worse for the current president than for the Republicans?
Well, long term, short term it's bad for the Republicans. Long term it can be bad for the president if it really does send us into a much more difficult economy than we have right now.
Hey, Bill, just the idea that the White House has nothing to do with this. do have something to do with the massive spending plans
Yeah.
that they've put in place that have led to additional inflation. Not that they created all of this. A lot of this was supply chain, but you know, the packages that they're spending right now.
What I meant that they don't have anything to do with who's the next speaker
Right.
and what the deal is that has to be made to make somebody a speaker in the next week.
Right.
That's what I meant.
So you think the odds of a shutdown have gone up
I think they've gone up substantially.
So does
What-
Mick Mulvaney. Who
What's
was with us
your
yesterday.
number?
Oh, I'd say it's a 90% chance that there's a shutdown.
90%.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just
I
bake it in the
assume
cake.
there will be a shutdown.
But do you
because-
think there's a shutdown for a day, or you think there's
No, I think it'll go much longer.
like a month?
Yeah, at least a couple of weeks till you get again to Christmas. The holidays seem to always be the one date that forces the politicians before they run home for the holidays to take some action. So between what is it, November 15th, whatever the 17th, till the 22nd of December, I could see.
Could you see? The Republicans always get blamed, obviously, for this. It doesn't help them. But could you see them extracting anything that they would think would make it worthwhile in terms of
Well,
spending?
McCarthy thought he extracted something.
Well, he did.
That was worthwhile, and that didn't work.
Well,
So-
it didn't work because he didn't extract enough, so I guess here.
Well, it didn't extract enough. Can he extract enough
anything
from Biden
Yeah.
to satisfy
Right.
that? That's hard to see right now, Joe. Really hard to see.
It's going to be impossible to satisfy those 8 to 20, whatever you want to talk about. But could anything good come from it? Or because I can't understand, I guess just for their constituents in some of the really deeply red areas they represent, they could earn some credibility there. But it usually hurts them. So why go through with it then?
It always hurts the party that
Right.
basically is really
But
shutting down.
would they think, well, we did get $400 billion.
Yeah, but they keep raising the bar again.
Right.
You didn't take a victory, which of course McCarthy and the vast majority of Republicans in the House thought was a victory on the CR.
Right.
They couldn't take that and pocket it and move on.
Right.
I think they could have. They could have run in their districts. They weren't going to get beat on that deal.
Right.
And it's kind of befuddles me from a political sense as to why in God's name they made this fight right now, other than to just get rid of McCarthy.